Welcome, beautiful souls. This is the Soulpreneur Oracle Reading channel. My name is Selena Ella Moon, and I am the founder of the Soulpreneur Institute. I support heart-led, sacred businesses and business owners in becoming powerful, radiant, and seen in this world in alignment with the founder. And if that's you, if you're a CEO, if you're somebody who is doing something really unique in this world and you're bringing it to the surface, it's important that you know that you're special. And it's important that you have support, and not just traditional business support, because traditional business support works for when you're in the matrix. But when you're not in the matrix anymore, you start elevating your consciousness, you start shifting the way that you see yourself and the world, and you start leaving this mentality, lifestyle of hustling and trying to prove and trying to be the best and trying to compete. And you step into a totally different framework where you start connecting with your soul, realizing that you have a purpose and that there's something that is really fascinating inside you to bring to the planet in your own unique way. And a lot of people that I work with actually don't see themselves as that fascinating. But when I look at the work that they do, I'm blown away. And when I look at the energetics of what they do, I'm blown away. And I feel like sharing that with you today, because you might be somebody that just feels like whatever you do is mundane and not that important, or not that big of a deal. But it is. It's a really big deal to people who are not you, because what you know and the information that you came to this planet with and just the experience that you've had has shaped you to become an expert in some way, shape, or form. And your expertise, I think some of you guys might be taking for granted. Okay, so it's important that you don't take your expertise for granted, because if you do take your expertise for granted, you're not going to see the value of what you have to bring to this world. And as a result of not seeing that value, you're going to have low levels of confidence. You're not going to put yourself out there. You're going to be like, no big deal. But really, you're a big deal. And if that's all I can share with you for today's reading, that's all I will share. But there's much, much more. So I've just been pulling cards as I've been speaking as well. Really, the first card that's jumping out at me is that your dreams need a practical plan. So if you're somebody who has been envisioning, dreaming up ideas, if you've been in that stage of just like visualization or feeling beautiful, really, really, really nice place to start. But now you're at that tipping point where everything that you have been visualizing, everything that you have been dreaming of, you have to start coming up with a plan, and whatever that plan looks like to you, maybe you know what that plan could be, or maybe you have no idea. So I keep hearing the words research. It's time for you to get into some research now, okay? Because you have to research about what it is that you're building and creating at a deeper level in order for you to have a more grounded plan and strategy with this, because you've done the soul work is what I'm hearing. Like, you've done a lot of the soul work. You've really unleashed yourself in a spiritual manner. You've really gone into yourself in a sacred way, and you've done the ceremonies and maybe even the plant medicine experiences, or just the travels that you've had, or the relationships that you've learned from. Like, you have done the spiritual work, but you can't now just sit in the spiritual work. Like, that spiritual work that you've done now needs to be translated in a practical way. And that requires you mapping out some kind of strategy based on what it is that you feel called to create, or to revamp, or to restructure. In some cases, for each and every one of you, it's going to be a little bit different. But essentially what you need to know is that a win-win outcome is in forecast. So maybe there's something that you've been battling, right? Maybe that I just kind of feel like, win, the word win sometimes suggests that there's like a competition, right? And it's like, who's gonna be the bigger person at the end? Who's going to win everything, the hand, or whatever it is? And it's like, you don't have to play that competitive game anymore, because when you show up in relationships with your heart open, and you trust that their heart is open, you can have win-win connections that, whoa, that's so weird. I'm just hearing so many things right now. Like, I'm hearing the word broadcast. Like, when you create a win-win scenario with, say, like a potential collaborator or a business partner or colleague, Like what this is going to do is it's going to help to broadcast the frequency of your business at a much higher, let's just say light, right? It's going to vibrate louder in the ethers, and people are going to, I keep hearing you're going to turn heads. Okay. So like, I don't know if this looks like a big broadcast in terms of like a big piece of marketing. Maybe you're going to be on a billboard or something. But also you could just have like a YouTube channel like I do, or you could have like a TikTok or something, and that ends up starting to really turn heads because of the vibration that shifts when you actually form this collaboration with this team or this person where everybody becomes a winner from the outcome. Okay. Now, this may be a situation where you had somebody who wasn't necessarily showing up in the way that you wanted them to. Maybe they weren't available. And so it's time to mend the relationship. Okay. So if you had somebody that you wanted to work with and you felt like they were a good fit, but it was just kind of not going anywhere, maybe there was some heartbreak involved, maybe there was just like delays is what I'm hearing as well. If there were delays, or if there was just a mismatch of energy, like that looks like it can shift now into something, because it feels like this card, the next card that came up was the Fates. Like I feel like you and this person or these people are fated to work together. And when it's like fate, it's so much more powerful, right? Because it's almost like you guys had these karmic agreements before you came here in this lifetime to work together and to build something beautiful. And I've actually been seeing this quite a bit with my clients when they're telling me about like new connections. And I'm like, oh yeah, that agreement was made from another life. And you and this person like totally rocked it in another life. And you guys always said you were going to come back together and like create a ripple, a change, you know? And that's kind of what this feeling is coming up as I'm looking at this card right now. And it's very interesting because the Yin card also showed up. And the Yin card to me is the card of stepping into your feminine energy and receptivity. And the reason I think this card is coming up, or I feel it's coming up, is because the person that you're connecting with, where you guys are going to have this like win-win outcome, like I really feel like you guys are all together because your vibration is going to be so strong together. You're all together. Your company's going to do less. Like you don't actually have to do as much work as you are accustomed to, because it's not just because like this person's taking 50% of the weight and you're taking 50% of the weight. No, that's 3D. What I'm seeing is like the energy that when you guys come together, it's like everybody just gets to soar and everything becomes easier. So there's just overall less work for everybody. And yet there's this like energy of receptivity that the company has that starts to blossom into wealth and abundance. And like I said, turning heads. Okay. So very, very interesting reading so far. I just have a couple more cards for you here. The Fortress of Protection came from the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck. I've never pulled this card, so I'm going to read it because this card is actually new to me. This deck is fairly new to me, actually. I don't know if you guys have it or heard of it, but one thing I love to support people with is abundance and wealth. That's like one of my favorite things, is watching people's wealth grow in accordance with their soul. And so I created the Wealth Code Activations. You guys can check it out. It's www.wealthcodeactivations.com. There's 33 wealth codes that you get in 33 days, and each code is like super enriching, and it has like a associated metaphor image to it, and it comes in email form, and it's like really, really, really powerfully transmitted through words. But then I also have a link to a video if you're a better learner by video. There's also a video associated with each code. So check that out if you want to grow your wealth. It's wealthcodeactivations.com. Fortress of Protection. This card is overprotection, lower your defenses. So along the journey of life, you've learned how to protect yourself from a great many things. And with each experience of discomfort or lack, you've built new walls to keep yourself safe. But the fortress you've created is not only holding the scarcity you fear at bay, It's also keeping out prosperity. The thing you put in place to protect yourself is the very thing that is blocking the abundance that you are seeking. This card indicates it's time to drop some of your defenses and stop hiding from the future. You do not have to leave the safety of your fortress behind entirely. After all, abundance and security are not in opposition to one another. But be sure to open the doors, unshutter the windows, and even take a walk in the fresh air. Examine the defenses you've put in place and question which ones are serving you and which ones are keeping you stuck. Look at your habits, look at your thoughts, look at your actions, look at the things that you do and say without even thinking. Ask yourself if this truly is keeping you safe or is this keeping you from more. I actually had a client this week where one of the things that was coming up was that she wanted to receive more support in her life. And so what showed up in the session was we had to examine her verbal contracts. And verbal contracts are like the things that we say, even unconsciously, that we're actually pushing away the very love and support that we're looking at. And I really connect wealth with support as well. But, we had to like burn away all of these words that she was saying, like, oh, don't worry about it, I got it, or it's okay, I'm used to doing this much, I'll just take it over, or I'm just used to this responsibility, let me do it, I can do it better. Like those kinds of things that you say out loud, you literally block other people from supporting you. And that can also block your wealth, right? So please keep in mind if you're one of those people that often likes to push away the support or hold up so many walls because you don't trust people. I think that's another reason this mending card came up. It's like, there's someone that you maybe felt like you couldn't trust, or someone that just felt like they weren't really on the same page as you. And it's time to like make amends with this person. Because if you keep your heart walls up too high to this person, this could be the very person that puts you in total yin energy and puts you into a position to receive, right? So maybe this is true for some of you, maybe not all of you, but I just wanted to share that as well. The Abundant Assembly card showed up, which is very interesting because now I'm like literally seeing a picture of two people sitting together facing each other, and there's like a very vulnerable, I don't know, it just feels vulnerable and it feels connected. I'm gonna read it to you again because like I said, this card deck is not super familiar to me. So here we go. Seek out sisterhood, prosper through connections. It's through others that money flows to us, whether directly from them through the opportunities that they offer us, or simply by means of the inspiration that they awaken within us. It's for this reason that your journey to prosperity isn't meant to always be traveled alone. In fact, now is the time to assemble those who make you feel like anything is possible. Make new connections or rekindle old ones. Seek out support and encouragement, and spend time with those who make you feel abundant just by being in their presence. Accept the opportunities or prosperity they offer with grace, and ask for help and let their support strengthen you. Okay, so this again brings me back to the mending card. It's like, who is this person? Tell me in the comments. This could just be your spouse. Like maybe you just weren't on the same page with your spouse, and now all of a sudden you guys are getting on the same page, and just their support energetically is helping you to completely thrive in your business. I mean, this could be so many things, but I just want to read the last couple cards that came up here, and I love, love, love this deck. It's the Game of Life deck by Florence Scovel. I always mispronounce Florence Scovel Shin. There we go. That's the name of this woman, and I absolutely love this deck. So the card that came up says that infinite spirit, give me a definite lead, reveal to me my perfect self-expression, show me which talent I am to make use of now. Okay, so this card right here is all about you embracing your talents. It's about you realizing, yes, you might have many different talents, but you have to ask the highest of all to show you which one to put into action now, because we started off this reading with your dreams need a practical plan, remember? So that means that in order for this to be practical, you got to pick something. You got to pick something that pulls on your heartstrings. You got to pick something and commit to it and see it through, because if you don't do that, it's just going to be sitting in the ethers. Okay, so I love, love, love this. I'm going to read it again. Infinite spirit, Give me a definite lead. Reveal to me my perfect self-expression. Show me which talent I am to make use of now. Okay. And then the last card that we have today is from the same deck, Infinite Spirit. I call on the law of forgiveness. Wow, full circle moment here. I call on the law of forgiveness and give thanks that I am under grace and not under law, and cannot lose this, whatever your desire is, which is mine by divine right. Okay, so again, the mending card, right? You need to forgive somebody, and you need to realize that your desire is safe with God, and you are going to, once you forgive, your desire will be met. Okay, there's like something connected to forgiveness and having your desire met. This is what's coming up right now. So let me know if this resonates with you. I really pray that it does, and you were able to take away something significant from this reading today. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, you can reach out to me through the Selena Moon Project at gmail.com. Otherwise, check me out on the Soulpreneur Institute website. You can see all about the work that I do with other soulpreneurs. It's www.soulpreneurinstitute.com. And if you want to check out the wealth code activations and receive those juicy wealth codes, 33 days, 33 codes delivered straight to your inbox, you can go to wealthcodeactivations.com. Get in there. It gets really deep. It'll help you to unveil parts of yourself you maybe didn't even know existed. We've had phenomenal reviews and testimonials come through so far, so please check it out. And other than that, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.